Hey everyone, it's Paige. Welcome back to my channel. This is probably my most highly requested video right now. If you've been tuning in to my Snatched by Summer series, you've probably heard me mention quite a few times that I track my macros. And of course, that's brought on a lot of questions in my comments, such as, what are macros? How do you track your macros? Is that the same thing as tracking calories? A bunch of things like that. So I am finally here to set the record straight and break it all down for you guys in a hopefully very simple and quick video. So what are macros? Macros is short for macronutrients, and macronutrients are what make up your calories. They're the three main components of your diet, and those three are protein, carbs, and fat. I would say protein is the most important one. Like, you need protein to function. Like, protein is everything. It's so important. The other two, carbs and fats, you can really play with those more, and that's why people do certain diets, like low carb diets or high fat diets or low fat diets, you know, things like that, because you can kind of tweak those around. But protein is the one that I'm not gonna mess with. Like, I'm gonna always try to hit my protein number. So there's 4 calories in every gram of protein, and there's also 4 calories in every gram of carbs. There's 9 calories for every gram of fat. So if macros are what calories are made up of, why don't we just track calories? Okay, so there's one big issue with only tracking calories. It does not take into account what you're actually eating. Your body needs a certain amount of those 3 macronutrients. And if you're just tracking calories, you might be eating a whole lot of carbs and fats, but not getting any protein in. Or you might be eating too much protein, which I doubt, because it's like so hard to get too much protein. So that's why I and a lot of other people track macros versus just tracking calories. So how do you find out what your macros are? You could technically sit down and like do this whole math equation and, you know, add it up and figure out exactly what your macros are based on your body weight and all that stuff like that. But on this channel, as we all know, we work smarter, not harder. There are plenty of macro calculators online that you can plug your information into, such as your weight, your height, your activity level, your body fat percentage, all of that, and it will give you your macros. Just give them to you, just like that, in 2 seconds. And I've actually like done my macros before myself, and then I compared it to a calculator, and it was so close. I was just like, I will be using a calculator from now on instead of sitting down and spending time on that. So the one that I currently use is the Katie Hearn calculator. She's actually a personal trainer that you may follow on Instagram. She has a great macro calculator right on her website, and I swear by it. Once you go on the website, you basically just type in your information. Like I said, it's gonna be your weight, your height, your age, your activity level, blah, blah, blah. They're gonna ask if you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, or recomp. You choose which one you want. I chose lose weight, and after they added it all up, they gave me my macros. So basically in seconds, it gives me how much protein, carbs, and fats I need to eat, and then it gives me the calorie number that I'll be eating each day. And because I chose my goal was to lose weight, the calories they gave me should be in a deficit so that I am burning more than I'm consuming each day. It will be pointless for me to give you my macros because they're gonna be different from yours. Like, it really all depends on the individual. That's why I want you to get on the calculator or do your own research to come up with your macros, because they're going to need to be specific to you. Okay, so now we have our macros. How do we make sure we're sticking to them each day? That's where 2 very important tools come in. 2 tools that I owe a lot of my weight loss success to, and that would be the MyFitnessPal app and my food scale. So I know that there's so many apps out there that kind of do the same thing, but MyFitnessPal is just the one that I've always used. So we're gonna just focus on that one. Basically, when you're on MyFitnessPal, there's a section where you can put in goals, and what you want to click is calorie and macronutrient goals. So if you don't have the paid version, you can't plug in like specific numbers that you want. Like, you kind of have to go by percentages. So you could pay for the paid version and put it in there exactly how you want, exactly how you saw it on your macro calculator. Or you can just do what I do and just set that calorie goal to 0. If you set your calories to 0, you can basically just do what you want. You can hit the exact numbers that you want because you're not like forced to stick to this goal or whatever. MyFitnessPal has like a library of hundreds and hundreds of foods, and you can scan labels when you're in the store or at home, and it'll just plug it right in, and all the nutrition facts will already be in there. Or you can add your own food and add it in manually, like whatever. But yeah, so each day I add my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So the app is like really like easy to use. It's very beginner friendly, like you'll figure it out in no time. But here's where the food scale comes in. So say you're trying to prep a meal and you have like ground turkey, we'll use my typical meal for an example. Ground turkey, a veggie, and quinoa. Since you're tracking your macros, you want to make sure you don't go overboard with the quinoa, because then you might go over your carbs, and you want to make sure you have enough turkey so that you're hitting your protein for the day, right? For the food scale, you basically just place your bowl or your container on the scale. You set it to whatever measurement you want. The only two that I really use are ounces and grams. I put my container on the food scale, and then I start adding my turkey. And I personally want 4 ounces of turkey. So I'm just putting it in there, and then when it hits 4 ounces, I'm done. And you keep continuing with that with the vegetables. And that's basically how I track everything that I eat. If I'm eating popcorn, I get a bowl and I put the bowl on the scale, and I'm, only pouring in the amount that I'm supposed to be eating. I also use measuring cups for certain things, mainly liquids, like my cashew milk and things like that. But sometimes you could even over or under measure with the measuring cup. So I really just like to stick with the food scale when I can. It's a great way to make sure I'm not going overboard. The food scale just like really comes in handy. And I feel like it's so helpful at the beginning of a weight loss journey, because it's the time where you kind of learn your eating habits. And as you go through this process, you might even get to the point where you feel like you can just start eating intuitively, because you kind of have it in your mind, this is about 4 ounces of turkey, or this is about, an ounce of popcorn, because you kind of can just look at it and tell by the eye once you've done it for so long. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. The 3 things you need to get started are a macro calculator, an app to track your macros, and a food scale. Tracking my macros has really held me accountable and just really helped me throughout this journey. And alongside meal prepping, it's probably one of the top tips that I would give people who want to start a weight loss journey. I think it's just like one of the best things you could do. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. If this video was helpful for you, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. See you guys in the next one. Bye.